guys, Rick Shaw here on a beautiful morning, 21st of October 2022. Was out this morning and did a few things to the car. I got the cabin air cleaner done. It was getting pretty dirty. You can always tell the air conditioner doesn't perform as well when that thing starts clogging up. So I got that done. I got the air cleaner done on it, which was another one that was getting pretty filthy. And then I got oil coming. I'm going to do the oil change before we take our trip. One thing about this car I wish I could get. I can get it. It's just finding the spot to fit it. I'll have to do some lines on it and a custom bracket. I found a spot I can put it though. It's an oil catch can. And I tell you what, I recommend you guys, any car you have, put an oil catch can on. I've had cars that I put them on and they'll catch a lot of stuff, but I've had cars that, I had a Oldsmobile Rocket 350 and I put a catch can on that, and I'm not kidding you, it was going into the overflow weekly, all the crap that was in that crankcase. I've had them on most every car I've ever had. I just put them on. You can buy them. They're pretty cheap. You can get an oil catch can for under $10 with all the connectors and everything. I recommend getting an aluminum one. I've had plastic ones that failed, because the stuff that comes out of them, I'm not kidding you, is really nasty, what comes out of a catch can. And what you're doing is, off your PVC, the line that goes from the PVC to the intake, just cut it. In the past, I've stuck little 90s in there. You don't even need a hose clamp or anything. You just stick the 90s in there, run it up to the catch can, and put them on a bracket somewhere. Most of the older cars, you had lots of room. And this one, there's not a whole lot of room. I'm going to have to route it and get some more lines. And then what they do is, when it draws to your intake, it takes out all the liquid, the corrosive that's in there. And it's pretty nasty. What comes out of them catch cans is disgusting. And you definitely don't want to put that back in there, especially with the new cars that are this direct injection. You're putting all that right on the bottom of the valves, and it's just going to turn into rock on the bottom of the valves. I can foresee a lot of trouble with these direct injection cars down the road. The Japanese handled it by still using direct injection, but they have a little bit on the port injector going up under the valves for the cleaning. That's what the detergents are for in the gasoline. Keep the bottom of the valves clean. So we got that done. I did a PM on the car. Looked it all over underneath. Everything looks good. I'm going to take it up and get it washed here. We could wash it, but for the price they charge up at the car wash here to get them washed, it just doesn't pay me to do it. We're going to get the inside all vacuumed out and just clean all the crap out of it. The glove box always gets so full of garbage. I'm not one to throw garbage all in them, but it just seems to be the pack rat spot for this car. So I threw a bunch of stuff out this morning. I mean, it just gets so full of stuff that we don't need, jammed up, and I just dump it on the floor. When I open up to do the air cleaner, I just dump it on the floor. But boys are downstairs playing. I'm going to keep them outside today, and we're looking forward to our trip. We're going to be leaving early Thursday. Grandma's going to be here to take care of the house and the fish and stuff and the dog. And we're getting ready. We got the roof rack on top of the car, as you can see that. And we're gonna, we'll put as much as we can there. This is the buggy we'll take on the trip. It's actually a little bit more roomy than Mark and Maui's vehicle, for me anyway. With the headroom and all that. So, and it's a great trip car. We really like it, and it needs to get out on the road and run. And we're looking forward. We'll bring the camera along and see if we can get some good vlogs of the different places we're going. I'm not sure all the places. I have the itinerary of what we're going to do, but it's so small on the phone I can't read it. I got to cast it over to the TV so I can get a good look at it on all the different things we're going to do. But we'll vlog a lot of it, and it should be pretty nice. But I am going to order a catch can for this car also. You know, that'll help. If you put a catch can on there too, your oil stays cleaner a lot longer. The oil in this one, when I got it new, I was changing every 6 months or by the mileage, which we never put that much on it. And it was staying pretty clean, but now it's getting to the point where it dirties up. In 6 months, the oil's getting pretty dirty. I use nothing but AMS oil synthetic in the vehicle. I got it in the gearbox. I've got it in the engine. A lot of people say, oh, you're wasting your money with that. I don't think so. I don't think I'm wasting my money at all. You know, that helps keep them clean. What happens with oil, they purify, they call it fossil fuel. I don't buy that. They purify the oil from the ground, the base stocks, as best as they can. But what happens is you get pieces of carbon and gunk in there, and they'll stick to the motor and cause a hot spot because the molecules will flock together. Whereas synthetic, they're individual molecules. They used to have a thing on Castrol with their synthetic. They called it liquid ball bearings because it was individual molecules. So it dissipates heat better. I mean, it definitely, I had a used car. I was using Mobil 1 back in the day, and it would never really overheat, but it sure would get close. It would go right up to the line and get hot. And when I switched over to synthetic on its first oil change, the needle was down a whole point. You know, they had little gradients there, and it was down a whole point just from the oil. And then I wound up putting an oil cooler on it, and that really took care of the problem on that one. And then I did the radiator flush, cleaned it out, and you know, you got to keep them from overheating, especially in this climate here in this country. I really don't hear of too many vehicles overheating if you keep all your stuff clean. You know, with the radiator flush every so many years, every couple of years, do a radiator flush on them and clean them out real good. Put new fluid in. Even these cars that say they got that lifetime radiator fluid, baloney. You know, I never bought that. You know, for the life of the car and all that. Well, the life of the car is not going to be very long if you don't change that out every so often. You know, they all get corrosive after a time. So even if you have the lifetime fluids in there, I recommend, you know, those ones you can go longer, give it about 4 years and change them. The green stuff every 2. And I don't even use the flush. I basically just drain it out and add new. It keeps everything real clean if you go 2 years. If you go longer than that, it is good to put a garden hose in there and just let it flush out. You don't clean it, but still you're getting a lot of the contaminants from the water. I wouldn't recommend getting a garden hose here with your house water and running that through your engine because of all the crap that's in the water here. If you want to see what's in your water, get yourself like I got a pickle jar, a clear glass pickle jar. You can get a wine jug or any kind of big jar and fill it up with your tap water. Put a cover over it and let it sit overnight. And then when you wake up in the morning, all the crap that's settled down into the bottom, it's unbelievable here. I actually had water tested when I went back to the States last time. I brought a little vial of the water with me from the place we were living. And I had a buddy that works up at the reservoir. He's the water quality guy. He's the one who makes sure that the water that's going out of their plant is safe. And he was like, whoa. He thought it was from the well at my house. And he was like, he was wanting to condemn it. He goes, man, you don't even want to bathe in this water. So watch running that through your vehicle. I also checked my battery. These lifetime batteries on these cars, that's a big pile of baloney too. You go ahead and pull that sticker off and pull off each individual cap and add some distilled water to that. One of the cells took a little bit of water, not much, but even though it's a new battery, it still took some. The rest of them were good, but don't fall for this lifetime stuff, because if you move, no, please don't do that with my stick. if you fall for it, your battery's not going to last that long. They just don't. So, keep the maintenance up on your vehicles here, and they'll last you a long time. I checked all my tire air pressure. Everything's good. Even on the bike this morning, the pressure's all good on the tires. I gave the undercarriage a real good look around. I actually have a little inspection mirror, and I went ahead and looked, and where there's dark spots, you just shine a flashlight in the mirror and you can look. I was looking for any kind of thing that just doesn't look right. All the bushings are still good on this vehicle. The spring housing, everything looks real good on it. There's no creaks or rattles or anything in this car yet. I mean, it's a Honda though, so a lot of times with the we go through these rainy with all the crap that's on the road. You'll start getting creaks and rattles in the older cars, but this one here, nothing yet. There's no odd sounds in it, and I got to take it out for a good warm-up, probably take it around town, and then when I come back, I'll do my oil this coming week. And it doesn't use any oil either. I always keep an extra can under the hood, quart that's been sitting there, and it never goes down any oil through an oil change. But like I say, I do it every 6 months. And I've never hit the mileage. I've never hit like 3,000 or anything like that on this, because we just don't use a car as much as you do in the States. In the States, I changed it quite a bit more often than here, but here it's every 6 months, and that's been working out pretty good, except this last time it's a little bit dirty. So, but we are, like I say, we're looking forward to the trip. I hope we have some beautiful days, but I don't care if we go down to the ocean, it's raining, I don't care, I'm going into salt water. I always feel a lot better when I get into the ocean or around the salt air. You just feel better. I personally think if you lived around the ocean, you'd live longer. It's just great stuff. I was watching a vlog here. It was about this, what the doctors used to do when people weren't feeling well. They'd send them either to salt mines or tell them to go on an ocean cruise. So back in the day, they knew that the salt water was helping people. So that's the way she goes. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go today. I got a few more things I want to do on the car. I definitely want to keep the dog out of it. She's doing a lot better on the shedding. Somebody left a message on the vlog. We have a vlog, by the way, Sunday, and they said, oh, put a little bit of that Himalayan salt, and her shedding is way down from what it used to be. So maybe she was missing a mineral. I was giving her minerals from the vet where you put the droppers on the food, and I guess that wasn't doing it, but Himalayan salt definitely helped out, and she likes the food. If I put a little bit of Himalayan salt on the food, she sucks it right up. She'll eat a whole bowl full right then, instead of just nipping at it. But she's funny. She'll take one of them little kernels of dog food and throw it up in the air and chase it around like it's a bug, and then eat it, and then go get another one. She's a goofball, this little dog. So I'm gonna let you go on this beautiful, beautiful morning, and we had a good walk this morning, the boy and I, and then Mama and Maddie went for some bike riding, and I'm glad they're getting the bikes out. I got to get Maddie's fixed. I got to buy a derailleur and a chain for it. It just basically got trashed. Dorothy took it for a ride. I think she smashed into the curb, and there's no fixing the derailleur. So I'll take it up to a bike shop and see if they have what we need for it, and get that fixed up for him, because he loves to ride his bike. He's riding his sister's now, and I'm glad Faye's riding hers. So before it gets too loud here, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. And this is Rick Shaw out.